Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another video. Well, let's check it out. Let's see what I got for you right now. If you like those American station wagons or states from back in the 2000s, but it's not the quality or it's not the looks that we liked back in the days from those classic wagons, I can probably say that too. It's not what we were used to seeing. But let's give it a proper presentation before we go around the bush and we're not giving you proper information. What I got for you right now, excuse that. What I got for you right now, it's a 143 scale 2006 Dodge Magnum RT. Just when they say RT, you're already thinking, okay, this is the fast and furious type of wagon. And in a way, it was a quite, strong, powerful engine. But the quality of these cars, sadly, they were not from what back in the days, those rugged and strong wagons that we remember from back in the 70s and even early 80s, like the Chevrolet Caprice and the Buick Roadmaster, and those vehicles that you knew that you were driving a real wagon. These wagons right here, already being a Dodge, you had a so average quality, unfortunately. I can say unfortunately because they got all the tooling to be a great company, but unfortunately, they don't really had that desire. I think I'm gonna say that because when a brand knows that they're not doing so well, and their quality it's not on par with others, and you still keep it around like that, then it's more like you really don't care, and that shows, in numbers after all, and it shows the amount of cars that's still around. You don't see much of these wagons no more on the road, and they were quite popular. I remember back in the early 2000s when these came out, they were quite popular because a lot of people liked them because they were quite powerful. The Hemi engines and all that that Dodge, the whole Chrysler Corporation has. A lot of people like those type of engines, but at the same time, after a while, they don't know. You don't know if they are going to be around. Now, these models were made for 3 years, from 2005 till 2008. Okay, this is before they got a facelift. They received a facelift in 2007. It was not a very long span of years in this model. As you know, the Magnum brand model name, it goes from back in the days. I mean, it goes from back in the what 60s? No, 70s. It goes from back in the 70s, but then they stopped. They had a lapse, and then actually they stopped in 88. So after almost 20 years, 18 years, no, 17 years, they came back with a wagon. The wagon, I know in other parts of the world, I think in Europe, they were calling them I think it was the Chrysler wagon, but they were using the front end of the Chrysler 300 and the shape of the wagon of the Dodge Magnum. I know they had a different name, which I cannot fully remember now. But let's get some information on this car right now, okay? This model, like I said, was from 2005 till 2008. It was assembled in Canada. Okay, now it only came as a five-door wagon only. And let's see. Let's talk about engines. Engines must be their good part. They, numbers always, the Hemis and all that, they do well in numbers. They had a 2.7 and a 3.5. These were the V6 engines. Then the Hemi V8s were the 5.7 and the 6.1. Those were the heavy hitters. Those were the ones that people really like to have. And those were the ones that probably were more popular to people used to buy them. Transmissions, no manual here, only automatics. You had a 4-speed automatic or a 5-speed automatic. Uh, Now, this being an RT, I think the RT, this one was the 5.7. There was also one that was called the SRT8. If I'm not mistaken, that one's the one that had the V8 6.1 liter. Okay, everyone, I'm gonna let this wagon. I was gonna say nice because it used to stand out back in the days. Quality was not the best, but the looks is there. They could have done better in quality, yes, definitely. All right, everyone, I'm gonna let it go around a few times, and I'll be right back. All right, everyone. I want to clarify something because people may be thinking, why is he always talking bad about Dodge and Chrysler and Nissan? Because these brands, I don't have nothing against them. I usually really like their models. I mean, Nissan is a car that used to have a great reputation. They lost that with the transmissions. Hopefully they'll pick up. Now Chrysler, they've been slacking off big time on their quality. I mean, I only hear complaints about people that have Chrysler or Dodge, and it's sad because the cars look good and they usually are powerful engines and they're very liked in the people that like a little bit more punch in their machines, but they don't put that extra quality effort that maybe other brands do, especially like the Japanese. Why Japanese cars have to stand out and American cars have to always lag behind? Or the Europeans, why we cannot just make good competition? Hey, that's just my opinion. But I want to clear it up. I want to clarify that because people may say, "Oh, he's always criticizing this and he's always talking bad about the brand." No, I'm not. When I praise their models, I sure do. When I don't feel the cars are apart, I gotta say it. Otherwise, everything will be like, oh, they're super beautiful. They are nice and reliable. Mm, question mark. All right, guys. Please don't forget to give me that beautiful thumbs up. Being realistic is not being mean. I like to tell the truth. Now, before I forget, this is a diecast and is made by Norev. Norev making an American model. Good, good, good. I like that. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell next to the subscribe button that will remind you when I'm posting more videos. And big time question, was this car sold in your country? How were they called? Were they reliable? Did you like them? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to know what you feel about this model itself. Take care of yourselves more than ever, and goodbye.